Welcome to the Virtual Job Fair Training. I'm Karen Durkee with Corporate Gray, and it's my pleasure today to talk with you about this Friday's event and help you prepare. We will cover today what to do before, during, and after the event on both of these platforms. There's a lot you can be doing now to prepare ahead of the event, which is why we hold this training a few days ahead of time. The training guide that you received contains everything that I'll be showing you here. If you did not get the training guide yet, please send me an email. I put my email in the chat box, and I will make sure you get that training guide after the webinar. Now, you registered for this virtual event in two places, on Corporate Gray Online first, and then we also have you register on eCareer Fairs. This makes your resume accessible to the recruiters in both places, and you can also search jobs and research the companies using both of these platforms. If you haven't yet registered on eCareer Fairs, the link is in the chat box. It ends with 8612. And eCareer Fairs is the actual virtual platform where the event will take place. So we want to make sure that you get registered there as well as on Corporate Gray Online. Let's start with how to prepare ahead of time for the event, what you can be doing now to get ready. These are the things you can do now, both on eCareer Fairs and on Corporate Gray Online, and I'm going to cover each of these. And the things that you do to prepare on Corporate Gray Online are the same as if you were preparing to come to an in-person event. First, let's go to eCareer Fairs so I can show you how to prepare on that website. If you have the link to the lobby, which I've put in the chat box, then you can just go to that link. And once you log into your eCareer Fairs account, it will automatically land you in the lobby. But if you don't have the link to the lobby, let's go over to eCareer Fairs and I'll show you. You can just put in ecareerfairs.com in your browser. We recommend you use Google Chrome browser for this event. And when you land on their homepage, you're going to click on Job Seekers. And it will prompt you to log in with your email and your password for your eCareer Fairs account. Then click Sign In as Job Seeker. And now it's going to land you on your My Events page. If you don't see this My Events page, you can go up here to the menu icon in the upper right and click on My Career Fairs, and that will always get you back to this My Events page. I like this page. I like landing here instead of going directly to the lobby because it shows you all the events that you've either come to in the past on eCareer Fairs or that you're registered for in future. And you'll want to find this Friday's event, and it will give you some handy icons here right from the My Events page. It'll let you share the event. This icon here gives you your history. So for after the event, you're going to want to go here and you can see the conversations that you had with recruiters. Access those afterward. We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. This is the link that will take you straight to the event lobby. And then this link will let you edit your registration details. For example, if you've updated your resume since you registered for this event, then you'll want to go here and align your new resume with your registration for the event. Whatever resume you've aligned with your registration for this event, that's the one that as you're in conversations with recruiters, they'll be able to see your resume. I'll show you what that looks like. So you want to make sure that it's your latest and greatest resume aligned with this registration. And you can do that just by clicking here. Before we go and I show you the event lobby, I also want to mention some things you should do to your eCareer Fairs account to prepare. You can see up here in the upper right, there's a thumbnail photo of me. If you just see a Head and Shoulders silhouette here, you definitely want to click on that and add your photo. So I'm going to click here and you just click on Edit Account. And it's going to let you can edit your account information, change your password, and then click here on my picture. We definitely recommend you upload your photo to your eCareerFairs account, because as you're in conversations with recruiters on Friday, they'll be able to see your photo, you can see their photo. The conversations begin as text chats. So if you have your photo uploaded, it helps you make a much more personal connection with the recruiter that you're text chatting with, if you both have your photos and you can kind of see each other that way. And then the recruiter, while they are text chatting with you, if they want, they have the option of changing the conversation to a video chat. So you also, ahead of the event, want to go here and click on test video, and make sure you test your video and make sure it's ready to go. Most of your conversations are just going to stay as text chats. But just want you to know there is the possibility that a recruiter will change it to a video chat, and you'll have a video interview instead during the event. So definitely test your video with whatever device and browser you plan on using for the event. Then that's what you want to test your video on ahead of the event, just to make sure it's ready to go, just in case. Also, of course, dress, at least from the waist up, but I recommend dressing head to toe professionally, because even if you don't end up having any video chats with recruiters, you'll just feel more professional, and you'll be in a better professional headspace if you look professional during the event and dress professional. Uploading your photo, very simple. You just click here and browse to your photo on your device, and then click the finished or saved, and it will automatically resize your photo to your account, and you'll be ready to go. So all of these tabs you can access from up here. Look for that Head and Shoulders or that thumbnail photo of yourself, and click on it and click Edit Account. And then I'm going to go back to that My Events page. So I'm going to click on the menu up here in the top and click on My Career Fairs to go back here, and I'll find this Friday's event. And let's go over to the lobby. So I'm going to hover over this. You might see these icons right here below the event, but if you don't see them, just hover over the More icon, and then you'll be able to enter the lobby by clicking this icon here. So let's click on that. And I want to show you some things you can do to prepare from the lobby here on eCareerFairs. When you land in the lobby, first of all, check to see, because if we get any more companies registering, and we might have a few more register for the event. If we do, it's going to go on to be 2 pages. So scroll through the lobby, but if you see a second page listed up here, make sure you click on the second page as well, because we might have 2 pages of booths by the time the event happens on Friday. Right now, we just have 1 page of booths, and you can scroll through, and there's a lot of information you can see on each of these booths. First of all, you can view the company profile, which will give you some information about the company. The preview button lets you preview what the booth is going to look like. Now, these links to enter the conversation or to type the general questions, they aren't live until the actual event starts on Friday. And it's going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and it ends at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And but you can preview the event starting today. Go to the lobby and preview each booth. And look, it shows you what recruiters are going to be manning that booth on Friday. And you can see a little bit of information about them. And you can see that on Friday, you're going to be able to enter their conversation queue. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But there's a lot of information up here too. You can see the company profile. If they have a video, you can watch their recruitment video. You can also see their jobs. And you can also see that from the lobby. So let's go back to the lobby here. And you can see this jobs link. So for each company that has their jobs posted on Corporate Gray, you can access those from their booth. So if I click here, it's going to take me over to Corporate Gray, and it's going to do a search on that company and show me how many jobs that company has posted on Corporate Gray. And for a company that has thousands of jobs like this one on Corporate Gray, it lets you filter your job search a little bit better. So put in some keywords for exactly what kind of job you're looking for. And you can scroll down here and search by the company name, the occupation, by state, what state the job is located in, or just by keywords. You can put in keywords here to really hone your search better. So that is this jobs link. And notice that each of these booths have that jobs link. Some of the booths might have a video that the recruiter wants you to view. This is probably information about their opportunities or their recruitment program. They might also have a documents link. These booths don't have their documents set up yet, but check back often because these recruiters are going to be adding more information leading up to the event. And this is a good way to do your company research. Preview the booth. For example, if we click on the SAIC booth, we can see which recruiters are going to be coming on Friday. And you can see what the booth is going to look like. And again, you can access a little bit more information about that booth up here and that company. We really encourage you to do your homework ahead of time. Search that company's jobs ahead of time. That's why we give you this icons to make it easy for you to search all these jobs. So if I scroll down here and I want to look at what jobs Los Alamos National Lab has, I can click on the jobs, click on the link here. It'll take me over to Corporate Gray and it'll run a search. And again, you can put in some keywords to filter your search better. And then when you see a job you're interested in on Corporate Gray, you can click on it and you can actually log into your Corporate Gray account. I'll show you that in a minute, and actually apply to the job ahead of the event. And the reason we encourage you to do that is because then when you come to the job fair on Friday and then you go into that company's booth and enter their conversation queue to talk with this recruiter at the company, you're prepared to tell that recruiter exactly how your skills are a match and what job is already a match for you at their company and that you've already applied to. Or if it's too early for you to be applying, maybe you're not quite ready to apply to jobs in your transition yet. You've at least done that research. You know what those job openings are that you're a good match for, and you're ready to tell this recruiter exactly how your skills can meet their company's needs. We don't want you to just come to the event, enter these booths, and get in a conversation with the recruiter and just say, well, what do you need? Here's what I do. You know, what does your company have? You want to come already armed with knowing exactly what those company's needs are and how your skills are a match for certain jobs certain openings that company has. That's going to make this event much more efficient and effective for your job search. That way you can go into a much more robust conversation with this recruiter than if you had just come in not doing any research on their company prior to the event. So be sure to come to the lobby ahead of time, click on all of these links to really do your research. And besides doing your research on the eCareerFairs platform here, you can also, let me go back to my slides, because you can also do a lot of research on Corporate Gray online as well. And I'll show you how to do that. So let me pull up Corporate Gray online. Let's go here to corporategray.com. You should already have an account. You're already registered for the event. So you're going to go up here to the login button and put in your email address. And this time you're going to put in your password for your Corporate Gray account. That might not be the same password as for your eCareerFairs account. And click login. And when you log into your Corporate Gray Online account, you're going to see you're already registered for this Friday's event. And you'll see it on your dashboard because that's where it lands you when you first log in. So you can click here on the View Job Fair page on Corporate Gray Online. And this has a lot more information. Let me scroll down to the list of attending employers, because this, you can click on the company name and that's going to show you very similar information to what you see in their booth. You'll be able to see their company profile. And here's that link to their jobs again. And why do we give you that link both on Corporate Gray Online and on their company's booth on eCareer Fairs? Because we can't stress enough how important it is for you to look at these companies' jobs ahead of the event and really do that research. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's so important for you to search the company's jobs ahead of time. And that's why we put this link to their posted jobs ahead of the event here, as well as on eCareer Fairs. We really encourage you to search these jobs and find the ones that are a good match for you so that you're ready to talk to these recruiters on Friday. The other thing we'd like to encourage you to do is go to LinkedIn. So we've included this LinkedIn network link for each of these attending employers. You're going to see a LinkedIn network link. And if you click on that, it doesn't take you over to that company's LinkedIn page. It actually takes you over to your LinkedIn account and runs a people search for you on who's in your network that works at that company. So I'll show you. If I click here for my LinkedIn network for the first company listed, it's going to run a people search for me and show me who I'm connected to at that company. And from here, I can either click connect or I can click on that person's name and go look at their profile. If they're not in my first degree network, I could invite them to connect with me. If I click here, I want to add a note. I could add a note saying, hey, I'm getting ready to meet with a Booz Allen recruiter at the job fair this Friday. Would like you to join my LinkedIn network to learn more about your company. You're not connecting with them to ask for a job. They're probably not a recruiter. They're just someone who works at Booz Allen, but they're a great resource for you to bring those people into your network because you're interested in working at that company. And you can learn so much from your LinkedIn network. If someone comes up in this people search that's in your first degree, then this button here will say message, and you'll be able to send them a message. So send them a message and let them know that you're interested in their company. You're going to be meeting with recruiters on Friday, and you'd love to get more information about any advice that they have for you about getting a job at Booz Allen or whatever company it is that's attending that you're interested in. So the way I got to my LinkedIn there and that people search was on Corporate Gray Online. I went to this Friday's event, that job fair page, and I scrolled down to the attending employers, and all of these LinkedIn network buttons, these are all going to run a people search for you on your LinkedIn network and help you connect with people at that company. That's another great way to do your company research and really connect with people who are in the know at the company. First of all, they can give you advice about working there, maybe what the company culture is. You could ask about that, ask about any advice in getting hired there. Also, maybe they know about some jobs that aren't posted yet, that hidden job network, and they can connect you with the right person at their company for certain jobs that might be coming open soon. So a lot of good research you can do here from the job fairs page on Corporate Gray. You can also see this job fairs page from the home page of Corporate Gray. You'll see it pop up right there, and you can view the attending employers. And again, I highly recommend you click on their jobs and search their jobs ahead of time. And of course, for these really large companies, you'll want to put in some keywords here to really filter the search so that you find jobs that that pertain to your skills. And then you can run the search again and hone it down a little bit more. Then you can click on the job that you're interested in. And if you click here to apply for the job, that will take you over to this position on the Booz Allen job board, for example, where you can apply directly from their job board. You can also save a job for later. That's going to save it to your dashboard so that you can easily find it later. Let's see, I think that's everything I wanted to show you on Corporate Gray Online for preparing for the event, as well as on eCareer Fairs. Remember, 2 different platforms being used, but eCareer Fairs is the actual platform that you'll come to the event on Friday. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let me go back to my slides and show you just a few more things. You'll receive the employer directory prior to the event, and that has the company descriptions. It has a link to the company's career website. And it also, if the company gave us some hot jobs that they're really looking to fill at this event, it also lists those. So make sure you also use this employer directory that you receive from Corporate Gray. You'll get that in an email. It'll be a PDF, and it'll have a lot of good information to help you prepare for the event as well. So we're trying to give you a lot of different resources to help you prepare, but it takes some homework on your part. While you're doing that company research, be jotting down some questions that you might want to ask specific recruiters as you're researching their company. And also jot down some answers to questions you're likely going to be asked. And the reason I say jot them down is if it's a video interview, then you have them handy to refer to. If it stays as a text chat, you can copy and paste these questions and answers in right from your Word document or your text document, wherever you jotted them down. And that makes the text chat go a lot quicker. So you already have these nicely worded questions and answers ready to go to choose from as you're chatting with a recruiter. And the text chats are gonna, it starts as a text chat, and it's going to be 10 minutes in length for starters, but the recruiter has the option of making it longer if while they're talking to you, they want to extend the conversation with you. But 10 minutes isn't a lot of time to be typing, so you want to have this ready to copy and paste in as appropriate. And then as you're text chatting with the recruiter, again, they can change it to a video chat if they so choose. So in your guide that we sent you, that PDF guide, we've included this pre-event checklist. So you can kind of go through and make sure you've done all these things that I just showed you on eCareer Fairs, and also that you've done the things prior on Corporate Gray Online, done all that great company research, all that homework to get you ready. And then, of course, also preparing your questions and answers as well. So we hope that pre-event checklist will help you feel ready for the event. So now let me show you how the event works. And on the day of the event, that morning, you're going to log into eCareer Fairs, just like I showed you. Go to ecareerfairs.com, click on Job Seekers, log into your eCareer Fairs account, and it's going to land you on your My Events page. And then you're going to find this icon that's going to have you enter the lobby. And on the day of the event, this is just a screenshot of a prior event, but I just want to show you, be watching out for this because we might have by Friday a second page of booths. So make sure you not only scroll through the first page of booths, but check out the second page as well. And during the event, instead of having a preview link here that I showed you, there's going to be this reps link, and it'll show you how many recruiters are currently in the booth and how many are set up to attend. And you can either click on that or you can click on the company name. Either one will take you to the booth. Also, during the event, you're going to see this blue event status bar at the bottom of your screen. This is important. You want to expand it. Just click on those down arrows and it will expand that blue bar. And this is a nice shortcut to the lobby. Anytime during the event you want to get back to the lobby, you just click on this title here and it'll take you back to the event lobby. And it will show you what queues you're waiting in, what conversations you have upcoming. That's good information. And also, if you have any invitations from recruiters, be sure and check that here. So as soon as you come to the event on Friday, as soon as the event is live, you can click on and see if you have any invites. Now, if this number is 0, don't be discouraged, because a lot of recruiters don't take advantage of the ability to invite job seekers to their conversation queue. But you might have a number 1 or more. If so, you want to click on it and it will show you what invitations you have pending from recruiters. And you want to accept these, because when you accept it, that means you'll click the thumbs up. And it might be, if you don't see the thumbs up and thumbs down to accept or decline your invitation, you might have to click here, and that's where you'll see those icons. Sometimes it condenses it. But when you click the thumbs up to accept your invitation on the day of the event, it will automatically put you in that recruiter's conversation queue. You don't have to go to the booth and enter their queue. It automatically puts you in their queue. So it's a nice little shortcut because you've been invited. And it also marks you as being invited in their queue. So when the recruiter sees you waiting in their line, they can see that you were someone that they invited ahead of time. So I definitely recommend you check your invitations. And if this number isn't 0, click on the number and it will let you accept any invitations you might have from recruiters, and it'll put you in their queue. Then when you go to the lobby, you can click on the company name or on the reps and it will take you to their booth. This is just an example of SAIC's booth from a prior event, because I wanted to show you some things here. First of all, you see the green dot next to these recruiters. That means that they're currently in the booth and active. If it's a gray dot, that means they haven't logged into the booth yet and you won't be able to enter their conversation queue. But you can see that all 3 of these recruiters are in the booth and they've got their queue open. So I can enter any of their conversation queues. We ask that you just enter 1 queue per booth. So pick one of the recruiters in the booth to enter the conversation queue. You might decide that by seeing how long the wait is. Maybe I want to enter this queue because they have the shortest wait. Or look at their greeting. Sometimes in the greeting, the recruiter here, you see each one has a different greeting. And sometimes it will tell you in the greeting, exactly what type of job seeker they're looking for, what skills they're recruiting for. And so that could let you know too, which of these recruiters you should enter the queue for. So check and see their waiting time, how many are in their queue waiting, and then enter their conversation queue. And once you enter the queue, then it's going to save your spot in that line. You can, if you want, ask some general questions in the booth. Anything you type here in the general questions box gets posted to the booth. Any visitor coming to the booth can see those questions. So don't type something personal here. This is just for general questions that the recruiters could answer that really any job seeker would benefit from. You can post those here instead of entering the conversation queue. But if you want a one-on-one conversation with these recruiters, you don't put that question here. You get into a conversation queue and wait your turn, and then you can talk one-on-one with the recruiter, and that can be a much more valuable conversation. But if you have a general question about the company, you can type it here. If you see that shadowy corner, that means you can click on that and drag it and make that text box larger so you can see more of what you're typing. And then you just click send, and your general question is going to show up here. And as the recruiters have time, they will answer your questions in this box. And again, that's visible to everybody. Then you can go back to the lobby, enter another booth, enter another recruiter's conversation queue. You can do this as many times as our booths. So if you want to enter a conversation queue in every single booth, or at least every booth that you're interested in that company's opportunities, and you've done your research ahead of time and you know that there are some good matches for your skills at that company, then you definitely want to enter those booths, enter a conversation queue, get in a waiting line with one of their recruiters, then go back out to the lobby, and you don't have to stay in that booth for your place to be saved in line. Go back to the lobby, go to another booth, enter another queue, and all of your places in line will be saved. And you can always click down here to this event status bar, expand it, and it will show you, it will remind you which queues you're waiting in line for. And then when your turn comes up in one of these lines that you're waiting in, you'll get a message on the screen like this. This will be a pop-up box on your screen, so you want to be paying attention. And if you have your speakers on, you'll also hear an audible ping. It will let you know that a recruiter has started a text conversation with you. So make sure you're paying attention once you've gotten into some waiting lines. And you just click on go to conversation, and it's going to open up that conversation with that recruiter. And this is what your text conversation will look like. It will start as a text conversation. And over to the left, you're going to see what the recruiter sees about you. So here the recruiter can see my photo, my information, what's in my profile, and they can preview my resume as they're talking with me. So I see that all about me on the left. And then on the right, this is my actual conversation. It shows me who I'm talking to. And this is where then I can type something into them. So you can type your greeting that you've prepared and click send, and it will put it in this dialog box, and anything they type back to you will also show up in this box. And that's how you have your kind of an instant messaging conversation. And then before they or you end the conversation, ask the recruiter for their email. It never hurts. Sometimes they'll share their email with you, sometimes they won't. But if you can get their email, that's great information to help you follow up properly with them after the event. So try to remember to ask them for their email so that you can follow up with them. Also ask them for next steps. What are the next steps in the process? And then when the conversation has ended, and also notice that it will show you how many minutes, and it's going to start these conversations, whoops, sorry about that, will start at 10 minutes and count down, and it will show you the time remaining in your conversation. And then when the conversation has ended, either you ended it or the recruiter ended it, it will tell you that up here at the top of the screen, and it will have you either, you can go back to the lobby or you can go back to that company's booth. And anything that was typed here during your conversation between you and the recruiter, you'll have those transcripts. You can access those after the event. I'll show you where you get those in a minute. So then you'll go back out to the lobby, You can enter more booths. And again, any lines that you're waiting in, your place is being saved. And you'll get that pop-up box again when the next conversation is started with you. Also, during the event, you'll see this leave your resume at the bottom of each booth. That lets you leave your resume and a note with the recruiters, and they'll have access to that after the event. So maybe it's getting close to 2 p.m. Eastern time and the event's almost over, and you can see that it's going to be too much of a wait to get to talk to that recruiter. So you could choose to leave your resume instead. And the recruiters will see that after the event. Also at 2 p.m. Eastern, the event doesn't just cut off. When it hits 2 p.m. Eastern time, the event will be over. You won't be able to enter any more conversation queues, but any lines that you're already waiting in line for, if those recruiters stick around and continue starting conversations, they can start a conversation after 2 p.m. So you might hang out for a little bit. Don't just close your computer or leave the event at 2 p.m. because if you're still waiting in line, it's possible the recruiter could start a conversation with you even beyond 2 p.m. It doesn't just cut everybody off. Again, that status bar that's going to be at the bottom of your screen during the event has some nice shortcuts to show you what conversations you're waiting in line for and what the wait times are. Be sure and check for those invites. See if you have any invites from representatives, and if so, accept them. It also shows you how much time is remaining in the event. But again, remember when the clock counts down to 0, if you're still waiting in line, you should hang out, because if the recruiter is going to continue the conversations, they could ping you. And then you also have the leave event link. This is how you officially leave the event. So when you're ready to leave the event and you want to be taken out of any queues that you're waiting in, you'd click leave the event here. And that's going to actually, you will no longer be participating. You'll be logged out. It will give you a summary page of your conversations. You'll be shown as no longer available, and you'll be removed from any lines that you're waiting in. So don't click that leave event if you're not really leaving the event. If you just close your browser, let's say you accidentally close your browser, that doesn't remove you from the queues that you're waiting in unless you've had your browser closed for an hour. So if you accidentally close your browser, just open it back up, go back into the event, and you'll be where you left off. Also, during the event, you're going to see a blue event support link here on the right side of your screen. If you're having any technical difficulty navigating the event or seeing things, it doesn't look right to you, click on that, and that will open up a text chat between you and the eCareer Fairs support staff so that you can get the help you need. Okay, after the event, I want to show you how you can access the transcripts of your conversations that you had, those text conversations, and a little bit more information. So after the event, find the event on your My Events page. Remember that My Events page has these icons. They're either going to be below the event or they're going to be in this More icon. You have to hover over it to see them. And you'll want to click on that chat bubble, and that's going to show you your interview history. So when you click on that, it's going to show you each of the conversations, each of the people that you talked with, and you can click on the chat bubble and it will show you your transcripts, and you can even download the conversation. So for instance, if the recruiter shared a certain job that they recommend you apply for, or maybe they shared their email address with you, you'll see that in the transcripts and be able to access it after the event. And we recommend you follow up with those recruiters that you talk with on Friday. If they told you about a position they think you're a good fit for, make sure you apply to it and then follow up with them and send them a tailored resume tailored to that position and thank them for their time and whatever information they shared with you. Also, reach back out to people on LinkedIn after the event. Not only recruiters at that company, but just people in your network, the employees that work at the company. They can be such a great resource for your job search. So I know that's a lot of information. If you have any questions, and again, remember, all of this is in that training guide PDF that we sent you. If you didn't get a training guide, let me put my email address in the chat box again. And feel free to send me any questions you might have. A recording of this will be on our YouTube channel shortly, at least by tomorrow. And if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat box. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Or reach out to me via email, and I'll help you there as well. I know it can be confusing. We have 2 platforms for this event, Corporate Gray Online and eCareerFairs. So that's 2 different logins. You've got 2 different accounts. But on Friday, the actual platform you're going to be going to attend the event will be the eCareerFairs account. You'll want to go to eCareerFairs.com on Friday. But be sure and use both platforms to help you prepare this week. Doesn't look like there's any questions. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you for your comments. I'm glad you found it helpful. And I wish everyone the best for your job search, and good luck at the event. I hope you'll take my advice, do some research ahead of time. And again, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you between now and then, answer any of your questions. We want this to be a good event for you. So good luck, everybody. I'm going to stay on just a few more minutes in case anybody thinks of a question. And thank you so much for your time today.